The halogen lamp had set the curtains on fire, the sofas caught fire, and the cardboard boxes caught fire, and a lot of other stuff. The whole house was filled with smoke. Our building had a fire extinguisher in the corridor. So I went out there, got the extinguisher, came back in, I pulled the pin, and when I started to squeeze down on the nozzle, there was nothing coming out. The first thing that I hoped for was really that the extinguisher had worked, or it was properly maintained, or serviced in time.
For most of us, fire safety means purchasing a fire extinguisher. Having done so, we automatically feel that we are safely guarded against a fire. But nothing could be further from the truth. If there was a fire in this office, this extinguisher would have to put it out. This extinguisher.
So, just buying the right equipment is nowhere near enough. It is essential that this equipment be well maintained, because a fire extinguisher is a passive device, one that remains idle on your premises, possibly for years before you might need to use it. And any equipment that remains unused so long and then is suddenly pressed into service will definitely be prone to faults. With equipment that is supposed to save your life in the life-threatening situation of fire, fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, there will be serious consequences if they fail to work as they should, which is why the right maintenance program, thorough, consistent, and carried out by experts is critical. At Ceasefire Integrated Services, we are focused on reliability, on ensuring that all ceasefire equipment must work at peak efficiency throughout its shelf life. And we do that by putting the right people on the job. The only people who are truly qualified to maintain your ceasefire extinguishers and smoke detectors, those who design and build them. Under the Ceasefire Maintenance Program, ceasefire engineers visit your premises once a quarter to conduct a comprehensive check of all the fire extinguishers on your premises. At each visit, our engineers conduct the following maintenance checks on the various extinguishers and smoke detectors in the ceasefire range. Clean agent and ABC extinguishers are thoroughly checked for dust deposits. Next, our engineers check if the safety seal is intact, whether the discharge nozzle is clean and unclogged, and in the case of the 5 kg extinguisher, whether the hose pipe is properly attached. The batteries of the bracket alarm are also checked. Finally, a special magnetic device is used to check if the pressure gauge is in working order. The magnetic device is held near the gauge, causing the needle to move. The moment the device is removed, the gauge should go back to its original position, indicating that it is functioning properly. Ceasefire engineers are painstakingly thorough in checking the pressure gauge. Since we have seen from experience that the needle can sometimes remain within the green band even after the pressure has dropped beyond the acceptable point. Contrast this with the industry practice of giving extinguishers a cursory outer dusting and considering the servicing complete. In fact, for ABC extinguishers made by other manufacturers, the product design itself is so basic that Ceasefire's maintenance checks are redundant. There is no safety seal or battery-operated bracket to check. A simple surface dusting is all that can be done. And although this is something your office peon could easily carry out, you are still charged an annual fee. We have also seen from experience how customers are sometimes told by the person servicing the extinguisher that the powder inside is too old and needs to be changed. Up to 1,000 rupees extra can be charged for this, without the powder being replaced at all. For the CO2 extinguisher, the most critical component of maintenance is to check for leakage. As per the law, all CO2 extinguishers have to be weighed once every 3 months. Leakage of more than 10% of the extinguishing agent means the product needs to be replaced. However, on manual scales with an extinguisher whose gross weight is 19 kg, in which the weight of the extinguishing would be 4.5 kg, a 450 gram or 10% error may well not show up, which is why Ceasefire engineers carry an electronic weighing scale to the premises where the extinguisher is installed and weigh the extinguisher on it. This electronic scale is exactly calibrated and far more accurate and sensitive than a manual scale. Contrast this with the common industry practice of taking the extinguisher away to the site and weighing it on a manual weighing scale. Besides, we have often observed firsthand the unethical practice of simply removing the extinguisher from the premises and then returning it some hours later without even having bothered to wait at all for leakage. To add insult to injury, clients are usually charged extra for transportation costs. The safety seal and the used-unused mechanism of the CO2 extinguisher are also checked. The discharge pipe is checked for blockages. And finally, the extinguisher is scanned for signs of wear and tear or breakage of components like the wheels, the base, etc. The initial maintenance contract for smoke detectors includes thorough testing of the central monitoring console and auto dialer. It also includes regular cleaning of each smoke detector and checking each detector with a detector communication test, a battery power test, and an actual smoke detection test. All Ceasefire smoke detectors also come with 1-year guarantee, with a comprehensive initial maintenance contract that even includes spare parts. The Ceasefire maintenance program is executed by a team of technically qualified professionals with years of experience behind them and is backed by fully computerized customer records and customized software that tracks each extinguisher and auto alerts a central monitoring cell regarding due dates for servicing. There is, in addition, a service number that's operational 24/7.
The service and maintenance is pretty prompt. You give them a call and they are there very fast.
हम सर्विस करते हैं, इसकी कहते हैं समय समय पे आते रहते हैं, हम उनको कॉल भी कर लेते हैं। जैसे अब ये सीज़फायर खत्म हो गया, तुरंत उन्होंने दूसरा लाके कॉल किया, तुरंत लगा के गए और वो 15 दिन बाद, महीने बाद चेक करके आगे देखते रहते हैं कि हमारा चीज़ ठीक काम कर रही नहीं कर रही है।
Whenever we require, we get into, within 24 to 48 hours we get the deliveries.
And that's the reason we have been dealing with them for the last 13 years. We have had a lot of other local companies have tried to approach us, but we have never entertained them because we are happy with them.
I have been holding on to Ceasefire equipment. I think it's been about 15 years roughly. This was the first time we ever got to use it. When the car caught fire, these chaps panicked. In the meantime, I found a 2 kilo Ceasefire extinguisher and used it. The next thing we knew that the fire is out. We called the people from Ceasefire and they were very nice enough to give us a replacement immediately on the spot. I think it is, to use my own language, bloody effective.
If you would like to know more about Ceasefire's integrated services or explore Ceasefire's basket of product offerings, simply pick from the menu that follows and the Ceasefire representative will play your chosen segment. Mr. Dasgupta, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And thank you. Goodbye.